So, is the era of the Scrum Master coming to an end? I think that's a great question. If you hang out in the Agile bubble, whether it's on LinkedIn or on other social sites, the dice have already been cast. People are saying Scrum is out and the Scrum Master, and the new kid on the block is XYZ. And insert your preferred successor framework of choice here, right? So we're not doing Scrum, we're going to do Safe. We're not doing Safe, we're doing this. But one of the things that I'm noticing is that there's a revision or a revert back to the concept of agile project management, which is really, really interesting because for quite some time I've been saying that change management is something that's very, very important. If you haven't reached out to your local ACMP group, you need your chapter, you need to do that because agile change management is real, right? And ACMP is the Association for Change Management Professionals, but agile change management is real. It's something that's happening. The other thing that's happening is we're starting to see a shift back to more emphasis being placed on what a traditional project manager does and how a traditional project manager fits inside of an agile setting. We'll go figure. That's exactly what a PMP type certification is. It's a project management professional, and a lot of the content that's covered in a PMP is indeed agile related. So when you start thinking of the PMI Agile Alliance and you start thinking about how Agile works, and you start looking at groups like the Scrum Alliance that are hyper focused on one little chasm, which is great. And I'm a certified Scrum trainer for the Scrum Alliance. And what I can tell you is they have a lot of great things going on within the Scrum Alliance, and they're expanding their micro credential offering by the truckload. So if you want to learn specifics about little things like how does Agile work in sales? What about OKRs? There are micro credential modules that you can take that will give you the gist of what's going on in the Agile world around us. But I feel like Scrum has almost outlived its, I don't want to say outlived its willingness to survive. It just hasn't evolved the same as everything else has evolved. And one of the things, if there's anything that you take away from this episode, I want it to be that evolution is key. That whether it's Agile evolution, Scrum evolution, evolving roles, you need to figure out how you are going to evolve. And leadership, I can tell you, they're not satisfied anymore just Scrum alone. They're not satisfied with Agile alone or Kanban alone. They want to get several data points and make decisions about how they are going to do things. So here's what I know. If you are facing problems aligning vision and stakeholders in your team and delivering real value, you are going to start to get questioned about what exactly are you doing? Are you a product leader? Are you a Scrum Master? Is it the team's fault? And people are going to start diving in and figuring out that we need to get past that. So I want to give you some data points. These data points are interesting, if nothing else, and you can take with them and do what you will. But I feel like these data points are going to help us really understand what's happening in the Agile community. So let's go with number one. There's been a decline in download numbers of the Scrum Master Interview Questions Guide. This guide is an interesting guide, and it's grown to 83 questions. And according to its publisher, it's been downloaded over 28,000 times. But the number of downloads in 2022 and 2024 cut in half. In 2022, there was only 2,428 downloads of that guide. In 2024, it's 1,236. What I'm finding interesting is I literally just launched a guide, an Essential Scrum Master Playbook, and an Essential Scrum Product Owner Playbook. And those guides are both getting more downloads than this one is. But I think mine also has an assessment in it as well. And it's more about what are the top 10 things you could be doing as a new Scrum Master? What are the top 10 things you should be doing now to advance your career? What are the top 10 things as a product owner that's new and advancing your career? And then a skills assessment guide that goes along with it so that you can make sure that you're on top of your game. The interesting thing is these all point back to these changes where people are worried about having a quality management system in place and worried about agile change management. It all boils back to those things, which is really, really interesting. And that leads us to number two. there was a decline in the number of participants in a Scrum Master salary report. So since 2017, there's been many reports out there. There's one that's called the Scrum Master Salary Report. And what you're seeing is a steady decline year over year of the number of people who are participating in the survey. Now, I might attribute that to people either having a different title than Scrum Master, because that's possible. I may also align that with people being less willing to show a decrease in salary, or people being out of work, or people transitioning jobs, people being hesitant to put information like this out on the internet. I mean, there's 100 different reasons this could happen. But what I do know is from some numbers from my friends at Indeed.com is that there's still a healthy job market for Scrum Masters. There's still a lot of opportunities out there for Scrum Masters. The problem is people are asking for a Scrum Master, but many of the people who are asking don't exactly know what a Scrum Master does. The list of requirements or the list of credentials or the list of what I expect you to know doesn't match what a Scrum Master specifically does. So that makes things interesting. So now you have opportunities out there, but the opportunities might call for this type of person to work as a Scrum Master, and it's not even the right alignment. So this is quite interesting. And the person who published that guide also warned the salary guide that there likely won't be a 2025 edition. I get it. And then here we go. Number 3. A decline in students in Scrum Master classes. Now, the individual who posted the original article is a professional Scrum trainer for Scrum.org. Excellent organization. I love Ken. I got my certification from Ken many, many years ago. So what I can tell you is since 2020, there has been a steep decline. Now, here we go. I'm going to associate part of this with the COVID, saying that COVID-19, the pandemic, that pretty much put a dampening on people attending classes in person. Things shifted online. People got burnt out doing things online. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to this. The other is that many people feel like I've gotten my certification, so now I'm set. Got my certification, I'm good to go. There's nothing else they need to do at that point. What I can tell you is that advanced education has become hard to find. I'll take that back. Good, effective advanced education is hard to find. And never mind, let's not even go down the AI path. AI has been a huge factor in all of this. Many of the things that were mundane and easy and simple to do can be done by ChatGPT. So now, whether you're using Copilot, Chat, Jasper, doesn't matter, Claude, I don't care which one you're using, Gemini, those types of easy things can be done if you set up a good prompt library. You can execute and build your own GPT and do these things, and it's not hard. So where am I going with this? I think we're finally seeing the signs of something that I talked about over 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I said that there was going to be an evolution of the role of product owner, and it was going to become more of a product manager. I also said there was going to be an evolution in the role of Scrum Master, and that it was going to lean back a little bit into the project manager role, but it was going to focus specifically on the aspects of change management, quality management systems. And I'll be darned if that's not what's happening. So while I don't profess to have a crystal ball, what I can tell you is this. If you don't know AI, you need to learn AI. If you don't know how to write good prompts, you need to do that. Because AI is not coming to take your job, but someone who knows AI is coming to take your job. Just want to point that out. And number 2, don't get hung up on these little reports and things that come out and say, oh, Scrum is dead. Scrum Master is going away. What are we going to do? There's always going to be a need for someone in a position to help manage and govern projects. That's not going to go away. The responsibilities and accountabilities of that person are going to shift, but the role itself is not going to go away. So if you want to be kept up to date, seek out an organization that can give you advanced credentials, that has coaching background that can tell you what's happening in the workplace today, and find a trainer that you can connect with that's going to give you a real world scenario about what's happening. And don't wait 3 years to find it out, because if you wait 3 years, you're going to be too late. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. I'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. Bye now.